Welcome to the first annual segment of Movie News. This is a segment that I will do every Monday after a 7-day period of the week, and I will talk about the latest news that has come out about movies and TV shows. And I'll talk about them, I'll give my take on them, say what I think, whether it's a good or bad thing or whatever. And so, yeah, this is the first segment of Movie News, a new thing that I'm trying that hopefully you like. So, let's get started. As we all know, Disney has a lot of stuff planned for the future of Disney Plus. They have a lot of original series in development, many of which we know about, but there are also plenty that we don't know about. This was one of them, and it's one that I would have never guessed. On May 14th, the author of the Percy Jackson books, Rick Riordan, tweeted about the Percy Jackson series, and this is what he had to say. So basically, Disney is rebooting Percy Jackson and turning it into a Disney Plus original series. They're rebooting it, and Rick Riordan said that each season is going to be based off of one of the books, and there's been 5 books, so they might do 5 seasons. I don't know. It depends on if it's successful or not. There have already been 2 movies based off of the Percy Jackson books, which haven't done well. I've seen both of the movies. I don't really remember them. My mom has seen both of them. She hates them because she read the Percy Jackson books. She's a fan, and so I told her about this, and she's actually really excited for the series and is glad to see that it's getting a reboot, so that it's getting better treatment. And so I'm probably going to end up watching it. If it weren't for my mom liking Percy Jackson, I probably wouldn't end up watching this. But since she does, I'm probably going to end up watching it, and hey, I'll probably even do a review on here or something. But yeah, so my take, I don't really care. I mean, it's not something I would watch, but my mom likes Percy Jackson, so she's going to watch it, so hey, I guess I'll watch it too. Alright, on to the next subject. Now, this next subject, this has been talked about for a couple of years around Hollywood. They've been trying to get it made. It's a remake. It's a remake or a reboot. Not really sure what it is, but it's been talked about for a couple of years. I've heard about it for a couple of years. It sounds like Hollywood's trying to get it made, and they're finally getting it made. And it's a movie that many people believe should not be touched. That's right. For the past couple of years, Hollywood has talked about remaking the 1983 film Scarface, starring Al Pacino, about a Cuban who rises up in America as a drug lord. Al Pacino stars as Tony Montana, and this movie has been talked about getting remade for a couple of years, and now it's finally getting remade. We know who's directing it, and the script has already been, there's been versions of the script written, and we know who the writers are, so let's find out who they are. Luca Guadagnino, who I don't know if I pronounced that right, is set to direct this movie. He is the director of Call Me By Your Name and Suspiria, neither of which have I seen, so I'm not really sure what his style is. He's an Italian film director. I had never heard of him up to this point. I knew about Call Me By Your Name, but I didn't know that he directed it, and I had never heard of Suspiria, so I don't know what his style's like, so we'll just have to see. And the Coen brothers have written a script that they've turned in. The Coen brothers, you might know them for like No Country for Old Men or Fargo or The Big Lebowski. Just look up some of their other movies. I'd be sitting here forever if I talked about all of them, but the Coen brothers have written the latest version of the script, and Luca Guadagnino is set to direct. And besides that, all we know is that it's getting remade, and for me, I'm with everybody else. I do not think this movie should be touched. I've never seen it, but I really want to because the story sounds really interesting, and I've seen some clips from it. It looks really good. I really want to watch it, and I don't think it should be touched. Now, a lot of people will argue that it's the original Scarface from 1983 is actually already a remake of the late 30s movie from Howard Hawks titled Scarface. Now, if you don't know what that is, I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, most people who have heard of Scarface have heard of the 83 version, so people will argue it's that, but it's really not. it's its own thing, and so they're trying to remake this one and make something similar to it. I just don't think it should be touched. I don't think it should be touched. I don't think it should be remade. You can't get anybody else like Al Pacino. Like Al Pacino played Tony Montana. You can't get anybody else like that. You can't get another person going say hello to my little friend like Al Pacino. I'm pretty sure Scarface revolutionized movies forever by inventing the line "Say hello to my little friend," because now so many movies have said that, just like Scarface, and so this movie is a lot of things, and it should not be touched or remade at all. To me, just leave it alone. All right, now let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is about two movies that were released on video on demand that were supposed to be released in theaters, but because of the virus have been released on demand. And here we're going to talk about how successful they were, or how successful they currently are, and what critical status it has right now on like Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. This past week, Capone, a movie starring Tom Hardy as the notorious gangster Al Capone, was released on video on demand. It was directed, edited, and written by Josh Trank, who previously has made Chronicle and the Fantastic Four remake in 2015. So it's not much to go off of for this, but it was released on video on demand, and it received moderate, like mixed reception upon release. Many people thought it was okay, some people thought it was bad. As you can see by the Rotten Tomatoes score, neither the critics nor the fans seem to like it, and so Capone has received a mixed reception upon release, and many people at this point are just telling Josh Trank that he shouldn't make movies anymore, and that his only good movie is Chronicle. I've never seen Chronicle or Fantastic. Actually, I think I've seen the Fantastic Four remake, but I just don't remember it. But from what I know, but yeah, I actually kind of seemed a little interested in this movie when I heard about it, but then I started hearing all the mixed reception, and I was like, oh, okay, never mind. But yeah, so Capone has sort of bombed, if that makes sense. And then the second movie, Scoob, the animated movie about Scooby-Doo, which was released just Friday. So it was just released 3 days ago. Capone was released last week on like Wednesday or something, or actually it might have been Tuesday. Yeah, like Tuesday or something. But Scoob was only released Friday, so this is subject to change. But Scoob has also suffered a similar fate, and that has received a mixed reception upon release, with with a rotten score from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and many fans not liking it, saying, it has the plot of a superhero movie, and it doesn't, and it's like if Scooby-Doo was in present day, and it doesn't have all the stuff that Scooby-Doo does. Like, a lot of people hate this movie. Just like Capone, it's receiving very much mixed reception. In fact, I think maybe even worse mixed reception than Capone does. So yeah, both of these movies have essentially bombed on video on demand, and they probably would have suffered the same fate had they been released in theaters. So maybe this was the best because it saved them from, bombing if they released in theaters. But my take on this is that I was expecting Scoob to actually be not great, but like decent. I was actually expecting something kind of good out of it, and then I heard all the stuff, and I just like shake my head like, really, you messed that up. And I wasn't expecting Capone to do severely well, especially after learning that Josh Trank directed this. I wasn't expecting it to do very well, but then I heard about all this, so my take is that, I kind of expected Capone to like not do very well, but I didn't expect it to get all this, and I didn't expect Scoob to get all this. But I think I was gonna watch Scoob, but I didn't end up watching it on Friday, like when it released video on demand. Maybe that was for the best. And I kind of want to watch Capone. I don't know. But yeah, so that's that, and let's move on to the next subject. Many of you that watch me might be gamers. I know I am. I love playing games, and I would consider myself a gamer. I love playing games. But I am wholeheartedly against the idea of video game movies. I've only ever seen like 2 in my life, and I haven't seen that many, but I'm against the idea of it. I don't like the idea of it, and I think that they don't work out very well. They don't do very well. That's all. I'm against the idea of it. This has been in development for a few years now. A Metal Gear Solid movie. I've only ever played one Metal Gear Solid game. It was called Ground Zeroes. Let me know if you played any of the Metal Gear games or Ground Zeroes in the comment section. But it's been in development for a few years now, and it's being directed by Jordan Vogt-Roberts, who has previously directed Kong Skull Island. And you might be asking, why are you talking about this? What's new about it? Well, director Jordan Vogt-Roberts has started posting on concept art of the movie on Instagram for the past 5 days. For each day, he has posted a new picture of concept art for the movie, and I just thought it was interesting enough to talk about. So why don't we look at the concept art that he's posted? So yeah, I just thought it was interesting to share with you the pictures of the concept art he released. And so let's move on to the next topic of the day. It seems that another Disney live-action remake is in development, as the Disney animated movie Atlantis: The Lost Empire is in development for a live-action remake, and Tom Holland's being eyed to play the main character. My take on this: well, I've never seen Atlantis: The Lost Empire, but knowing Disney and their live-action remakes, not a fan. I remember going to see the live-action Lion King and just being so disappointed. Because to me, the only good thing about that movie was the visuals and the CGI. It's pretty much it. It was just, a rehash, and that's what all the Disney live-action remakes are. It's just a rehash. They're probably going to do as many as possible, because the Disney live-action remakes will bring in a crowd of people who have tons of nostalgia for the original movie, and then just be disappointed. It doesn't matter if they're disappointed. They already paid for a ticket, and it leads to a bunch of Disney live-action remakes making like $1 billion at the box office. So to me, not a fan of this. I've never seen Atlantis: The Lost City of Empire, but Lost Empire. I butchered that. But I've actually heard some people request for this movie to get a live-action remake. But for me personally, I don't think, it's just another live-action Disney remake. So I'm not really a fan, and I don't really care for it, so oh well. Alright, let's move on. New Mutants is a spin-off of X-Men that's been in development. Well, not in development. Fox has been spent a few years trying to get it released in theaters, and it's got delayed time and time again, and it got delayed again due to COVID. It was supposed to release back in April, and the other day they gave it a new release date of August 28th, 2020. Some people think that this movie will come out August 20th. Some people think it'll get delayed again. Some people think it might not even release at all, and that it should just... Some people say it should just release on digital. And my take, better late than never. Just release it just release it in theaters. It's better to release it than never release it. And I'm not that interested. Well, the movie's somewhat interesting. I'm not super excited for it, not super anticipated for it. Like, it's not one of my most anticipated of the year. But if I had the chance to see it, I'd see it. Why not? It seems interesting enough, and it seems like an interesting enough movie to see. And I think, what? Maybe I'm actually on the side that thinks it might actually keep its release date of August 28th. I think it will. Well, that's it for today, folks. Thanks for dropping by to watch movie/TV news. Drop by every Monday. There's going to be a new one every Monday from the past 7 days of movie news. Make sure to stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I hope you liked it, because depending on how much people like this, I may or may not continue doing it. I'm trying it, but I thought it'd be interesting. But thanks for watching, and I hope you liked it. See you next time on Movie News.